Kumon, and then went back home, slept for a few more hours, and went to my next shift. I worked anywhere from 70 to 90 hours a week. And during
Wow.
that time, I did self development. In the quietness of those aisles, I listened to audibles on my phone and started working on the mindset that's required to get out of that matrix and the rat race. So what you're seeing, and I really appreciate the fact that you can see that, someone else that's also on that journey of growth and development, is the work behind the scenes that makes it look effortless. On my
Mhm.
desk is a bunch of books
There
that,
you
that I
go.
go, and there's like almost 275 books on audibles that I have that I listen to. So in this journey of 10 years that I dropped out of medical school, but I've gotten this, University of Hard Knocks PhD. And so that's where this comes from. And now I'm doing everything I can to show you what's possible in this space. The funny thing is, while I'm making this six figures a month, I'm more excited than ever to go harder than ever before. I'm aiming for things that I've never achieved before, whereas someone might say, hey, that's good enough. I mean, we all have our own financial thermometers, we have our own things. And we're going to dive into the opportunity that's allowing me to do this. But regardless of what it is that you utilize, you're in an incredible industry. Yes, it's fraught with dangers and malicious things, but it comes with expensive lessons that help us to find the right people and the right opportunities through which we can eventually burst out and find your success. All it takes is one opportunity. And I believe we have something special here with which for all of us to blossom if we will just focus.
That is awesome, man. That is awesome. And look, I got one more thing before we jump into the opportunity here, because I think this is going to be very important for some of the people who are watching, and it's somebody that's is really going to spark something in, right? So here's what I want to ask you. After your experience last year and all the things that you faced, the things that happened, right? How were you able to garner enough belief
Yeah.
to get back into the game again?
Yeah.
To go because I know you've faced. I know you tell the story. You lost millions of dollars.
Yeah.
You accounts in the negative.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
do you
Oh,
say, well, look, I'm going to begin again? How do you get the courage to do that?
great question. And I will tell you this, for most of us, we are first generation in this industry of at least pursuing financial freedom, because our parents and their parents, all they knew was trading their hours for dollars or manual labor for money. And so the fact that we didn't come from money, the fact that we came from the just getting by, has been a great source of strength, knowing that I didn't come from money, I didn't come from an inheritance, I didn't come from daddy's money. I came from my own brute effort and energy and progress. So meaning that the money came from me. There's a wonderful quote that says the man makes the money, not the money makes the man. And so, for someone that might have inherited the money, inherited a business from their family, and then they didn't manage the business well, they might be in a total loss of, like, I don't know how to work a business. I was just given this thing. We weren't given these things. We developed it. We worked on our craft. We got the scars and fell on our knees and picked ourselves up and all of that stuff. So ultimately, sitting there with the reality of being able to see the $4.4 million in my back office still to this day. By the way, it was a non-network marketing investment. Um, but being able to see that and know that I can't access it. I mean, at that time, I had to find strength in my own wings. And I love this quote that says, a bird that sits on a shaky branch doesn't have trust and confidence in the branch, but its own wings to be able to uplift itself. And so what I
Mm.
mean by that is develop your skills, develop yourself. You are the greatest investment you can ever make in life. And this industry rewards you for investing in yourself, for growing and developing, because as we know, the more you learn, the more you earn. And this is a direct correlation to this. So knowing that the money came from me, knowing that I made this happen, that again, this wasn't given to me, this wasn't an inheritance, this wasn't a lottery, this wasn't something that fell into my lap, but rather through years and years of effort and developing myself, which I think was a real test of like life giving you the final exam of it. Like, what did you learn in the master class of entrepreneurship? Is like, okay, now we're going to take all your money away. Let's see what you do. And it's like, okay, what did I learn in these past few years that I've been in this space? And all of that got applied here. And I got to tell you, like, and I said this on the Zoom yesterday, which is what looks like a few months of effort is 10 years of aggregated skill sets and activities, and the belief that I built, the work ethic that I built that is behind the scenes that leads to this. I mean, yes, something I actually, now that you mention it, the 2 Zooms a day has gotten to be such light work that I didn't even see that as like a big deal, because I've done that for so long. That's like, oh, it's just 2 Zooms a day, 7 days a week. That now that you say it, it's like, oh wow, that is actually, it takes a lot, because it takes a lot to just even attend those Zooms, let alone host them and get people on there. So, but this is why the mindset, and this is why the work ethic, this is why all of the stuff behind the opportunity that comes between you and yourself, between these ears, is what determines how well you do in whatever opportunity you join. We can have an opportunity as wonderful, and by far this is one of the best opportunities I've seen in my 10-year journey. That doesn't mean that it doesn't have risk. It means that this is the best I've seen in this industry that allows you to leverage your money and leverage a network to create passive income. That with this opportunity, it depends on what you bring to it, the caliber of your passion, your hunger, your work ethic. These aspects make it the kind of success that you need to be. And here's the thing, even as someone that this might be your first opportunity in the space, you can still achieve great levels of success. It's not that you have to go through 10 years of battles and scars like that, but it depends on, for me, it took that time, but it depends on your rate of growth, your rate of absorbing these things, and as well as some aspects are fortunate or not, such as being able to come into an opportunity that already has a lot of good things going for it, and instead of a lot of the ones that we had to bear through, to now appreciate what we have. So mentally, it was based on the fact that I knew that I was capable of making the money again, and I knew that we had an industry that allowed someone to start from nothing and make it to everything that they want. There's so many countless stories beyond, me. I mean, the greats of this industry, they slept in their cars. They borrowed money to get started, and all of this other stories that we hear that leads to their wonderful success. So, having that sharp mind, which I developed over the course of many years, is also because, it's crazy. Like, when I lost that amount of money, some people thought I was lying. They were like, "No way you could lose that amount of money and be okay."
Mm-hmm.
And I realized how limited people's perception of money was, because for them, they didn't see themselves as the engine of where the money comes from.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, I can make the money again. Like, yeah, I know that, and I'll make it smarter, and I'll keep it by doing wiser things. So for me, it was just a lesson more than a loss, a very, very expensive lesson, and one that will protect me from greater losses. And it's now part of my story. It's now something that I get to even more than I love to tell about how much money I'm making. I love to tell about that story of how much I've lost, because that builds character and that builds the right frame of mind to progress into the future.